396. If you undertake a transaction from hand to hand and the goods are small, then you shall not be obliged to issue a receipt. But when you undertake a transaction with great goods, then you shall be bound by the obligation of a receipt. 397. And always have bystanders witnesses. If you offer one another anything for sale and sell so that everything is done in honesty and nothing occurs that is non-right. 398. Truly, when you are knowing in the truth and you do good works in respect and honesty, and carry out your duty, and if you give your alms and the good gifts to those who need them, then your reward will be love and equitableness, fairness, and therefore you will not have to fear that anyone will revile you as a stingy one, or someone without equitableness, unfair one / irresponsible one, nor that others will cause sorrow in you. 399. To you is granted everything that is in the firmament's universe, and on the round of earth, as well as everything that is in you and whatever you make known. Therefore do your part responsibility. And if you do any things which you shall not do because they are wrong and against the right and against the laws and recommendations of the wellspring of love creation, then you will have to give account, and if the misdeed you have committed can be forgiven, then forgiveness shall be granted to you, but if you cannot be forgiven because your misdeed breaks the bounds of all right, then you will be subjected to punishment by the authority or jurisdiction so that you will be subjected to the fulfillment of guidelines and the possibility of compensation. 400. Know about all these laws and recommendations that have been revealed to you by the proclaimers, the prophets, so that you may heed the right and outlaw proscribe the non-right, and consider that in right and non-right everyone shall be equal without difference. Therefore no one shall be advantaged and the other disadvantaged. In other words, the poor treated as the rich and the equitable ones, fair ones / responsible ones, treated as the dissemblers, deceivers, as well as how the ones who are knowing in the truth and the ones who are knowing in the truth will be judged equally in all things, thus in freedom as well as when called to account. 401. And no one shall be imposed upon beyond their abilities / strengths, and to everyone shall be awarded what is due to him and what appertains to him, irrespective of whether he has lost control over himself and committed an offense or whether he carries out everything rightfully and in respect and honesty, and no one may place his responsibility onto another, neither unto gods and to gods. But everyone shall take their responsibility upon themselves and come under it, and there is no one who has not been given the power to do what is rightful and of responsibility. Chapter 3. 1. The prophets have brought you on earth the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life as fulfillment of what preceded it through Nicodemean's teaching. And before this he himself taught his teaching to his pupils as a guideline, signposting / leading thought, to distinguish between being fair and unfair, between right and non-right, and between truth and lie, as well as between honesty and dishonesty, and also between respect and slander, calumny. And it is certain that those who deny the truth and the teaching of the prophets do not possess the gevalt of forgiveness, so they cannot forgive those who do evil to them. The measure of forgiveness is only given to the fair ones, responsible ones, and the knowing ones who forgive those who do evil to them. 3. Truly, all life has been created through the laws of the wellspring of truth creation, and therefore they are the same laws according to which you were created in your mother's womb after fertilization, procreation. 4. And it is the prophets who have brought you the teaching about how these things are done and how you shall behave in your existence and how you shall be openly connected to it at all times, so that you do not bring suffering on yourselves and do not rob yourselves of life. 5. The teaching of the prophets is of decisive importance for you and the guideline, signposting / leading thought, for life, and therefore a foundation for leading the existence. 6. And the teaching of the prophets is not capable of different explanations because it is one teaching only and does not allow any misinterpretations. However, There are some amongst you who bear depravity in your thoughts and feelings, with the result that you think up from the teaching different explanations against the truth, because you want to lead into confusion and are looking for strained interpretations, falsifications, and contradictions, in order to sow the seeds of discord and delusion. But none amongst you who are looking for ambiguity and untruthfulness, and are disseminating falseness and delusional guidance, none of you know the true explanation of the teaching, because the real truth of the knowledge of the teaching is known only by those who have based their knowledge on the truth of the laws and recommendations of creation. 7. Do not belong to those who deny and falsify the truth, because they will receive a poor reward and will suffer harm, since they are punishing themselves and are without true joy and friends. 8. And know that the teaching of the true prophets is based on the truth of the laws and recommendations of creation, and know that the teaching is only understood by those who willingly bring forward the understanding for it and who turn to the real truth. 9. Make sure that you comprehend and understand the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life, so that you will not become further depraved in yourselves, and will instead escape from your depravity. 10. See that you always guide yourselves rightly and be yourselves vouchsafers, guarantors / authenticators / obligators, for all things that you shall do rightfully in order to lead your life in honesty and equitableness, fairness. 11. And you will certainly keep your promises that you make if you are fair ones, responsible ones, and ones knowing in the truth and are without doubt in this. And if you also give a promise in front of your entire species of people of your kind, human species, as fair ones, responsible ones, and ones knowing in the truth, then the people will gather before you on the day when you give your promise, and the people will thank you and will give you its trust. 12. However, all of you who persist in being unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and ones who are knowing in the truth, you will gain no benefit from all your property and wealth when you are looking for true friendship, because only people of your kind, fellow human beings, will turn to you and your children. 13. You unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and ones who are knowing in the truth, you are the same as those who were unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and ones unknowing in the truth before you, and who condemned the prophets' signs, evidence / marvels, and their teaching, for which they reaped iniquity and harm, as will be the same on your path. 14. You unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and ones unknowing in the truth who are chained to a belief in a god or ten gods, you are allowing yourselves to be overwhelmed by non-right and by false teachings and lies, so you store up in yourselves everything that burns in a bad feeling state of psyche and the inner world consciousness, as the fire of the realm of the shadow world, realm of hell, and truly, this is a bad feeling state, and is no place of rest in which good liberation, joy / gratification, and rest can be found in love and peace, as well as in freedom and attunement harmony. 15. Truly, the prophets have given you signs, evidence, and marvels, so that you shall turn yourselves to the truth of the creative creation, and shall fight for the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life in a peaceful way without weapons and through rationality and intellect with good words, so that love may grow all around you, as well as peace and freedom and attunement harmony. 16. And care for the sick and watch out for their healing, and offer consolation to those in mourning, and be helpful to them in all things that they need. 17. Strengthen your support for all those who require it, so that they will also become strong and can give their support to others. 18. And open your senses to the teaching of truth, so that you will become knowing in it and be able to lead a life that fulfills the laws and recommendations of the creative creation.